Hello and welcome to this session on reprogramming the mind, the subconscious mind. And this is such an important aspect of our life. Our life, it goes, and many of us, we have troubles, challenges, difficulties in life. And because of certain reason, sometimes we figure out the logic behind it. Sometimes we do not have any clue why is it such. Nevertheless, we are going to look at those aspects. We have already been discussing about what is that subconscious conscious mind, what is it doing to us, and we also will today look at how we can handle, reprogram the subconscious mind. Wonderful to have all your presence, and I'm really, really excited to go ahead and share with you some of the ancient and very deep practices related to reprogramming the subconscious mind. Certain aspects which are deeply buried inside us, can we go there and change them properly? Ancient traditions from this very land, Indian seers and sages, they had tremendous concepts, processes, and path for how to handle this mind, how to get in, delve into them, and alter them. That's what we are going to look at. Also, we'll see from the scientific point of view. The modern science has also been validating so many concepts, so many different things which have been unearthed by those seers and sages for ages, for so many years. And that also we will see how science has seen it and found out the merit, the power behind all these concepts. So great to see all of you out there. Would love to, would really, really love to see your comments. Are you all excited to go ahead and go with me on this journey? How we can reprogram, change, alter some of the aspects of the subconscious mind. That's what we're going to look at. Great, great to see all your wonderful, wonderful greetings. So, are you all excited? Just mention if you are really eager and excited. Just write eager to go through, eager to go. Yeah, or excited to go. Certainly excited. Yeah, I can see so many wonderful comments coming in. Great, great, great. So, as we move further, you can see that picture out there, the elephant and the mahout. That is the hard, difficult thing. That's what we are now taking up. The elephant, when it is wild, even the most proficient mahout would not dare to go near and to do anything with the elephant. If it is just from the jungle and it is violent, nobody can approach this. Unfortunately, many times our mind is in that state, very violent, internally restless, having chaos, disharmony, causing so much of internal problems. The conscious mind, which is not in a position to intervene, rather, it is suffering, it is being taken by a ride by the subconscious. Like the elephant, if it is violent, and by some means, if the mouth is on the elephant, it has to just follow what the elephant wants to do, until unless it knows, the mahout knows how to tame the elephant and how to train the elephant appropriately to behave in the right manner. That's what we're going to look at, how we can do that with our subconscious mind, being the vast powerful aspects of our mind, the programmed conditioned mind, which is having a lot of tendencies, and those tendencies are causing a lot of problem in our life. How we can handle, manage, and proceed with them, and it's a possibility. All of us, we have seen it, that mind is something, if we understand, if we delve in, get some strategy to intervene in that, we definitely can do it. So let us get in and see how we can really make this a reality in our life. So when we say the subconscious mind, it is mediated by, organized by, activated by certain parts of our brain when we are seeing from the scientific perspective, which is very similar. Those parts of the brain are very similar to the animal brain. So naturally, the tendencies which have been there are having different preferences than the human preference. What are they? Like, there is a immediate gratification urge. That means something we want immediately, something good to eat, immediately I want it. Something good to see, immediately I want to do that. Something very pleasurable, immediately I want to have it. So these are instantaneously, I want some gratification, something that I want. Again, some part of the brain, because they are having those tendencies. We have got deeper emotional aspects, again because of certain animal tendencies which may not be appropriate from our perspective as a human being, but they are there, ingrained. I trust you have already been through with this. We have already discussed. Some of you already might have seen this in the previous sessions. In case you have not, please make it a point to go through those earlier sessions, and you can find the links inside the description of this video as well. So you can go there and also check out those things, because that would be of help if you're for the first time here. I'm Sandeep Dash. I have been going through these live sessions with all of you to share something amazing, which is not my creation. It's all been there. We are all learning, and we can share with others. With that purpose, with that mission, we have started this journey. So many of you have been part of this journey, going through this journey. So we are surging ahead to learn something amazing and bring changes in our life by reprogramming our subconscious mind. Having said that, now let's move on with the process. Great. Next, why are we suffering? This is where there has been something we discussed in the last few sessions. Why have we been suffering? What is there? What is inside where we have sufferings? And these aspects are probably because of tendencies which are buried inside. We discussed about 6 tendencies known as human trap, every one of us. What are those human traps? Let's quickly recap what are these human traps, how they're causing so much a problem in our life. And if we know, if we take charge of ourselves, if we commit to change, then we can overcome these challenges. Let's all right, commit to change. That commitment is the essential aspect. If I commit to change, strategies are there. We are sharing, we are discussing, we are understanding, but it's not sufficient. It is necessary. In mathematics, in mathematical concepts, they say there is something called the necessary condition and the sufficient condition. That means something is certainly required, prerequisite, but that would not actually lead to get the right answer. You have to also fulfill the sufficient condition. It is like knowing the path is one thing, but walking the path and reaching the destination is another thing. You may be knowing the path, until unless we walk on the path, you would not get to the destination. So now we are knowing the path, but our objective is to reach the path by traversing through that path, by taking the first step. One step is the commitment that we are taking towards the end point. Yeah, even if it is 1,000 miles journey, first step is so important. That first step is what we are discussing. So human trap is what? Human trap is something where we see some tendencies in our life. We see some tendencies in our life, and these tendencies trouble us. Which are them? Which are these tendencies? Quickly, let's have a quick look at understanding of them, recap of them. One is the holding on trap. One tendency of our mind is to go back in the past through the timeline and bring something from the past, let us suffer in the present. I remember some bad experience of the past and suffer in the present moment. It may be an event happening long back, maybe some 10 years ago, or it may be something which happened this morning, but still I'm troubled. But the trouble is because my mind has a tendency which is little beyond the threshold to remember something and bring it back to the present moment. Let me suffer in that holding on trap. Many of us, everyone, to a certain extent will have it, but if it goes beyond a certain limit, then that's a problem. If it goes beyond a certain limit, then it's a problem. We have to handle it. Next one is uncertainty trap. What we are having here, here we are projecting that the future is likely to hurt me. It is the outcome which is negative. It's not what I want. I may be having disease. I may lose my job. There may be financial issues. There may be relationship issues. I may have problems in the presentation, promotion, job, career, health, all this. Futuristic negative thoughts, uncertainty trap. Again, when we look at the brain structure, we can clearly identify the brain pathways, neural pathways, which are causing this kind of things. But that is the part of the story. The bigger part of the story is we have the power to change those. As scientists in today's era, they term it as neuroplasticity. We can change certain things permanently by applying mental processes. A new emergent field of science known as the contemplative neuroscience. Precisely, contemplative neuroscience works in the space of meditative mind. What can meditation do to the mind? What can thinking process do to the mind? What can our affirmation, visualization, our internal touch do to our mind? That's what we are going to reveal, understand in today's session as we proceed further. Next one, we call it me and my relationship trap. It's all about relationship. There are so many challenges we face in our relationship domain. So this, if we are appropriately managing, then we are happy. Otherwise, we are unhappy. Next one is autonomy trap. Again, we have discussed. If in case you have missed that session, please do check out, click on the link given in the description, and ensure that we watch that again so that you recall, or if you have not seen that, you can see it sometime soon. Autonomy trap is about my responsibilities are overwhelming. I do not have time for myself. I do not have energy for myself. I am unable to do what I want to do, as if my freedom has been snatched away by the external forces. My boss, my wife, or my husband, my children, my parents, their expectations are so many, and their needs are so much that I have to exhaust myself. I'm unable to do justice to what I'm supposed to do, what I want to do. I'm not pursuing my hobbies, or not able to do what I can creatively manifest, or what I can see as a positive thing happening in my life. Autonomy trap. So that's what we also need to handle. Then we talked about something called the name, fame, status, position, and identity trap. Identity is what we say, how I feel myself. The moment I say I, what exactly I'm looking at. My body, my mind, my thought processes, my education, my relationships, my position in the organization, in the society, all these things immediately they come in. Instantaneously, I have a sense of who I am the moment I say I. One of the biggest aspect, one of the most profound aspect of the Indian spiritual system is to explore this identity, who I am. That's the core of spirituality, of the Eastern wisdom, where they say if you find out who you are, anchor yourself to that identity appropriately, you are happy. And again, we'll see how we can do that in some subsequent sessions for sure. So here we are talking about the identity trap. Again, you can see the tendency in the mind where that identity plays some kind of drama inside. It sees somebody else is growing and we are suffering. Somebody said criticized and we have a lot of problem. We see ourselves in imbalance with the surrounding. In terms of my status, I feel miserable. My colleague got a promotion, I did not, I feel hurt. So all these things are again playing in the mind a tendency which we call the identity trap. Very powerful, very important, and we need to handle that. Also, we can handle that. How? We are going to talk about that today. So yeah, it is self-image, self-efficacy, and self-esteem. Yes, nicely put by Divya Ranjan ji. Wonderful. So next, moving on, equality and unfairness trap, where we feel the injustice around. There are so many things happening which I feel that others are getting it in spite of I deserve to get that. Somebody cheating me also feels like injustice. Somebody making a kind of differentiation in giving or offering privileges feels bad. Something happened in the past which is because of somebody's cheating, or somebody has played a game, again injustice. All these things happen in everyone's life. So the human trap is something is not isolated. It's something which is there, which is deeply buried inside our brain. It is deeply buried inside our brain. Kind of we can see that neural pathways have been as if laid, and they are playing inside in a manner where we keep suffering, and we feel that this is where we need to work on for sure. So these are the few things we need to understand, that human traps are actually buried inside. They're buried inside the subconscious mind. These human traps are there. They've been implanted inside. How have they been implanted? Anyone who remember this, we had discussed in one of our previous sessions, what are the three processes which lead to the tendencies of the mind. In the ancient Indian tradition, the tendencies were known as samskaras, which have been there, which have been implanted inside through various processes. They had a term called karma, which has been probably come. Anyone? We discussed about three things, if you remember, three aspects which lead to this kind of programming. Only three processes. And these three processes are so important, especially the third one, which is so very important. That is where we are going to get in to the subconscious terrain. That is what we are going to apply today. Yeah. The three things that we discussed are nature. Nature means genetic inheritance. Genes have given me some programmings already, inherited from my parents, from my ancestors, from my forefathers. Being a human, I have a typical gene, and that gene has programmed me. How I will walk, what will be the color of my skin, what will be the flow of processes happening, physiological processes, physical structure of my body, all this genetic programming. Nature has programmed. What is the second one? Second one, we call it the nurture. Nurture means, nurture is about our upbringing, environment, social conditioning, my society, my community, my parents, the space, the place where I am, whether I'm in a village or I'm in a city, I've gone to school or not gone to school, which school I have been to, is it a vernacular medium school or is it a international school? All actually program me. Every moment it's programmed. Even later part in our life, corporate we go there, the corporate culture also program us. Yeah. So all these things are happening in our life. We are programmed because of the genetic inheritance. We are also programmed because of the environmental forces, societal conditioning. All these are happening relentlessly. They are going on happening. And that's how our subconscious has been programmed. And lot earlier in our childhood, this society program, the nurture program has been deeply rooted inside, something which we even are unaware of. So how to work on them? One thing that we already discussed, one most powerful thing is awareness. Awareness. The awareness is such a powerful thing which actually can bring in a magical change. We also discussed only light can remove darkness. Similarly, only that knowledge, that awareness, that conscious throw of brilliant light on ignorance, on our limitations of the subconscious mind, can remove that darkness. And instantly, however old it may be, the darkness the immediately is removed the moment light is put there. But light has to come there, the same place. You cannot have darkness in a cave, and you cannot put light inside another place in a mall and think that darkness will be removed in the cave. The light has to be lit up inside the space where darkness is there. That means just sharing knowledge would not help. The knowledge has to be caught and lit up inside our mind where darkness can be removed, and that is what we term as awareness. Conscious presence, knowing what is happening, is the first step, and that will initiate the process of removal of certain tendencies of the mind. So now next, moving on to this familiar picture of ours. It's a humongous task. Humongous in the sense that we have to now tame a huge, like a huge elephant is tamed and trained. Here we are taming and training the subconscious mind, almost similar in power, maybe more powerful than the elephant, which is a powerful physical beast. Now the Mahout, not as powerful in terms of physical strength, but has to take charge. Many times people ask me, willpower, is it very important to do something, some changes? Yes, it is important. But willpower has a limitation. Willpower only goes up to a state, write this down, very important, only take us to a state called a sankalpa, a pledge, a mental goal setting. I want this and I resolve for this. For first few steps, I need that willpower to come. But that means the Mahout take the charge that I will tame this elephant. But that's the first step. Just that much would not help. Beyond that, you cannot use willpower. Like you cannot just fight with the elephant to train it. You have to have strategies and making the elephant to a practice process. These are more important than the willpower. So, willpower is very important to start the sankalpa, the pledge, the resolve that yes, I'm going to do this. And we need it at times. And in the ancient processes, they have few very powerful terms, titiksha. That means, come what may, I will not leave the ground even if there is some pain. I resolve to take that pain, that much of pain, to achieve my goals, pitiksha. So I take that pain. So this is very important. That fortitude, that willpower is important to that extent, that I'll not leave the ground. But at the same time, this can only be further improved through some strategies. That's what we're going to look at as we proceed further on this. So, moving on. Step number one. Step number one, we need to understand this. It says connect to the subconscious. Again, going back to the same example, the elephant and the Mahout. I still remember. I have seen training of the elephant when I was very small, about 7, 8 years old. But now I can recall and relate to that story, that incident, that fact, that truth which I had seen. And it was wonderful. What is it? When the new elephants are brought from the jungle, they're violent. They can kill and smash and finish things, destroy things. Similarly, our mind can be terrible. Many times it is terrible because of the human traps. It is having a lot of turbulence. Where in the subconscious mind, the elephant is turbulent, violent, wild. Mahout is helpless. When elephant is turbulent, wild, and violent, aggressive, the Mahout is helpless, cannot do much. What the Mahout actually does here is the resolve, yes, I'm going to take charge of the elephant, number one. Number two, It has to tame down the elephant. That's precisely what we say, connect to the subconscious. We have to tame down, calm down the subconscious mind. There are very many processes, different processes, through which we can bring down the violence, the restlessness of the mind to an extent where we can connect, we can intervene in the subconscious level. In case of elephant, do you know what they do initially? The mouth would limit the resources to the elephant, meaning elephant will be put in a very limited space. Maybe they will tie up the elephant, put it in a small space so that it cannot move much, and they will limit the food and water to an extent for a few days, so that the violence, the agitation, aggression of the elephant also comes down a bit. Then the mahout closely, slowly goes to the elephant, offering food, offering water, touching the elephant, connecting with the elephant. Similarly, in the same fashion, we also need to approach the subconscious when we resolved. I will take charge. I will overcome those internal challenges, the human traps, understanding them, knowing them. Now it's my time to connect, understand, see, observe, and make a connection, make a bridge where the conscious mind remains alert and the subconscious mind is tamed. It's subdued, not aggressive. To make that happen, there are many processes, and many of them are purely meditative processes. Sometimes they're difficult to follow. If, let's say, let's take simple examples. Some people are having anxiety, depression, worry, many such conditions where it's very difficult to meditate. Telling them to meditate is actually a cruel thing. It's not possible at that point in time. So much of internal pain and agony is there in the mind, very, very difficult to concentrate, focus, and contemplate on anything. So, in those cases, we have to adopt different approaches. Many approaches are there. There are physical, like if you heard of breathing processes, yoga, there are different ways how we can apply them so that we can tame down our mind by stiffening body and releasing the stress. So all those, maybe we'll come up with a session or in a video where we can share with you what are those different processes we can follow so that you can calm down the subconscious mind. When we say calming down the subconscious mind, something you need to also understand here, something you need to understand here. Brain has got frequencies. Brain has many frequencies. Brain actually has a lot of frequency inside. When we measure with EEG, we put the probes and measure. Brain has got many frequency. What is that frequency? Brain has electrical signals, electrical flickers, charge. It, every neuron, every cell in the brain, it lit up and shut down, lit up and shut down. And that lit up and shut down, that flicker, happens few times in a second. 1 second, let's say the brain is, you know, switching on and switching off 20 times. So the frequency is known as 20 hertz. That's the frequency of the neural, that particular neuron. Similarly, we can measure the frequency of different neural pathways in the brain. And certain level, these frequency matter a lot. When we are very aggressive, these frequencies are very high, in the range of maybe 20, 25, 27, very high. In fact, there is a range of frequency from 14, that means 14 flickers to 30 flickers. That frequency range is known as beta frequency range. Beta. When we are active, when, let's say, I'm speaking, my brain most part would be in beta frequency range, in the range of 1414 to 3030. That's the range. That time it's very difficult to intervene in the subconscious mind, because subconscious is very active. It is either helping you do something, or agitated, aggressive, and feeling anxious, having a lot of stress. You will be having high beta and you'll be suffering only. At that point in time, you cannot do much. So it's a very terrible state of being. We need to bring it down to a frequency range which is below 14. That means most part of the brain neural pathways are below the frequency range of 1, 4, 14 and above 8. So 8 to 14 range is known as alpha frequency. That is the time when we actually connect best with the subconscious. If you have understood so far, if you have understood so far, just mention understood connection. Understood connection. Just mention that, so that will give me a sense that yes, you have understood it. Right. That frequency is what we have understood. One frequency where when active, very difficult to intervene, get into the subconscious and do anything, very difficult. But what we need to do when we say connect, we are calming down the mind to a state where most part of our brain neural pathways are in a frequency which is below 14. It's known as hertz. Hertz is the unit for measuring frequency. So that frequency is actually um, the frequency where we feel that we are settled. The mind is so settled. So that is one where we should feel that mind is getting calm and settled, and we are into that state of flow inside. And there we can understand, we can intervene into the subconscious terrain, into the subconscious state of being. So that's where we need to intervene. So most of you have given, understood, and understood the connection. Great to have all your lovely comments. So how to do it, we'll come up with one more session. You can also check out, if some of you are having difficulty in meditating, you can check out a video called Anybody Can Meditate, How to Meditate. That meditation video is there. Please check out in the subscription or in my channel, and you certainly would find it's known as a process called ABCDE process, and you definitely can meditate with ease, get to the alpha state with ease. Yeah. So please check out if you feel, if you are really interested to start your journey like that. Great. Now, first step is connecting to the subconscious. The second step is about programming. Is about programming. What is this programming thing? Let's understand this programming. What exactly is this programming? How this programming is important? In case of the elephant doesn't understand any language. It doesn't understand. Yeah. So it has come from the jungle, no understanding of language. What actually elephants understand is, one, they understand the sensory inputs. Yeah. Sensory inputs. So these sensory inputs are the ones which are coming through our eyes, ears, smell, touch. All these sensory inputs are important. And they also have emotions. They are feeling angry, happy, loving someone. This is also there in every animal. As we discussed about the brain layers, some part they have emotions. Elephant does have emotion. Similarly, very similarly, our subconscious also does not understand much of language. The problem is there. Many of us, we suffer because we think, I'm trying so hard, but it is not happening. Why? The reason is, I take a pledge. That's why I said that the willpower has a limitation. The willpower is for the conscious to hold on to ground for some time. For the conscious mind to hold on the ground for some time, where willpower comes to our help. But when it comes to intervening in subconscious and forcing the subconscious to do, willpower will fall short of that. It is like fighting the elephant to take it to the water body. I want the elephant should go somewhere, but the elephant wants to have fruits from a fruit shop. If elephant decides, you have it. The mouth cannot do anything about that. So what actually, if the mouth tries to push it or force it, it cannot, because it's so powerful. Similarly, Our subconscious is so powerful, our willpower will not be able to force it through that for a long time. For some time, with indication, with some communication, it can manage. Till that time, it can hold the ground. So there comes the strategy to reprogram. We'll talk about three strategies. What are they? Based on our sensory input and also based on the emotions. Sensory inputs and emotions. Like emotions are there. What is the job of emotion? Emotion is something which maps an object to our internal feelings. That means rasgulla, immediately my feeling is wow. I see something which is not tasty. I said, no, 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 I don't like it. So attraction, aversions, how I see that, that is where emotion comes into picture. Mapping objects to how we feel it. So that's where we'll see how that can be activated. Midbrain does it. We'll see how that can be activated, can be done appropriately so that we can reprogram our subconscious mind effectively. What is the formula? It's a formula. The formula is here. The formula is sensory input and emotions attached to them lead to some subconscious reprogramming. That's what we will see. So that's what we will see. Yeah, there are some queries coming, how to overcome the uncertainty trap. There are problems. Many people are having problem. In fact, in this series itself, we'll take up few of the things like anxiety, how to handle that, stress, how to handle that. So please join in the sessions coming. First, we need to understand how we are going to approach them. The fundamentals we are covering up, then we'll come up with very crisp, powerful, short, and precise sessions for specifics, how we can handle them and how to apply those techniques in our life. So please continue, have patience, learn this, grasp this, you'll find the power to apply them effectively. Yeah. So now, coming to this formula where we are talking about the sensory input plus the emotion is going to create a subconscious change. Now, what exactly is this? How we can bring in the sensory inputs? Three of the inputs that we'll discuss, how we can change our internal programmings using those three aspects. The three aspects we talk about, we have a very important, interesting name for them. First one, we can term it as inner vision. Inner vision. Let me take you through. In present day era, it is known as creative envisioning. Let me take you through the ancient processes. There are 6 different processes. And if you go to Dridrishya Viveka, a powerful text of Vidyaranya Swami, who has mentioned about how we use our mind for different things. We are not getting deeper into that aspect, but this aspect of inner vision also have seen in the ancient symbols where Shiva has the third eye, having that vision, which actually indicates the inner vision, destroying things. If you relate to that, destroying things, it actually destroys what? Ignorance. So we have to have that inner vision to see where the problem is, how to eliminate that. So what is this inner vision? How we can affect this? What exactly is the process? Let's look at that. And in another maybe subsequent session sometime in future, we'll talk about how to really practice this effectively. Very effectively, we can practice this, master this technique so that we can change. But today, many of you can do it just by knowing this much, having this concept. What exactly is this process? This process is about attaching visualization to emotion. What is visualization? I close my eyes and see something which I want to see as a dream or something which happens in my mind. I always give my example. sometime earlier in my life I had problems. All of us, we have problems. Now also I have problems, but that time the problem was more in my mind. So that time I used this process to change certain habits. I was very, very bulky, having overweight, 90 plus kilograms, and my height is only 5.5 feet. So naturally, very bulky, obese. I wanted to change some behaviors, and to make it happen, tried number of things, did not happen. This somehow worked like magic. What was it? It was visualization of I am doing something, and then attaching emotion to that. Let me take you through directly what I did. I was finding it really hard to get up early in the morning and go for a morning walk and exercise. Not happening for a long, long time. I was in Delhi that time, and when I implemented this worked. What I would do before getting to bed, sitting on the bed and closing my eyes, visualizing, seeing something vividly, very clearly. What is it? The entire story, the entire script, like a movie, as if I am a player, I am the protagonist, I am the hero in that movie. What is happening? I'm sleeping in the morning, alarm clock goes off, I'm getting up with joy, not snoozing the alarm, but stopping the alarm and saying, wow, what a wonderful day. I have got up, I'm the winner. See this. I'm visualizing this in the night, not happening right now in the morning. Still, I'm in the night before going to bed. I'm sitting in a meditative state first, connecting with my subconscious through a meditative process. Then I'm visualizing this. What is it? Morning, I have got up, and saying wow, and feeling so excited about the morning, coming out of the blanket. It used to be very cold, almost like 3 4 degrees in the morning, very cold at 4:30. I would get up saying wow, what a pleasant feeling of having this chill on my body, far more exciting than the warmth of the blanket. Then I would put my feet on the ground saying, oh wow, what a feeling of that thrilling chill of the ground, enjoying that grounded feeling. Then walking towards the wash basin, washing my face, saying, wow, what a touch of this water. I'm so privileged, blessed to have the touch of this water, feeling cleansed and purified. See the emotion and what I'm thinking. I'm visualizing, still, I'm visualizing every bit of the morning, I'm visualizing in the night so that I can make it happen in the morning. Then I would go change my clothes, open the door, go out, go for a jogging, enjoying every bit of it, enjoying the outside world, the chirping of the birds, the touch of the air on my body, seeing wonderful, beautiful people working out in the park. I'm also one of them. Joyfully come back to home, seeing every detail, enjoying every moment, saying wow every moment, feeling that emotion, then having a glass of lemon water, saying fantastic, really a brilliant moment in my life. I look forward to another wonderful day. This I would do in the night before I get to sleep, as a movie playing in my mind. Trust me, this works like magic. When you do it few times, you have to do it multiple times, as if this movie becomes your, it becomes a natural movie. The moment you close your eyes, the movie runs, and then you'd see changes happening. You get up early in the morning with such ease compared to the previous ones. Earlier you would pledge, tomorrow I will get up, but tomorrow comes, and then when the time to get up comes, let me sleep today, tomorrow I'll get up. Next tomorrow never comes. We just continue this process. Why? Subconscious saying tomorrow I'll get up, because it wants pleasure. Pleasure is in the blanket, not going out. But happiness is in the mind. Pleasure, happiness are different things. Happiness is inner world happiness of the human part of the human brain, not the pleasure of the beast. So, what we are doing here, giving control to the human part of the human brain. If you recall that, if you recall that picture where the top part of the human brain, in the structure of the brain, in the physical, materialistic structure of the brain, there where we need to anchor, bringing in power to ourselves so that we show that picture to whom? To the subconscious animals. We are showing the picture to the subconscious animals. Understand this. The picture is shown to them to make them believe with emotion that this is what I want. Let them believe that this is good for me. Language would not work, this language would work. If you are understanding this, start practicing this from today. We'll have more sessions on precisely how to visualize. Step by step, we can share with you, and you can master the art of visualization in some future session for sure. If you have understood, got it right, commit to visualization. Commit to visualization. Do the visualization for what you want to do in life. Visualize what you want to do in life by changing, by seeing that inside in terms of process. Here, if you see the process I was visualizing, I will run, I will eat nutritious food. So that will lead to the visualization of the process. Also, visualize the outcome. See yourself as a fit, happy human being. Outcome visualization, process visualization. Commit to visualization is what actually would lead you to something extraordinary in life. And this is absolutely a possibility in all our lives. We just need to commit. One is visualization. Literally, this is inner vision. We are internalizing things. There are few experiments done on visualization in the US, and also it was done in the UK as well. They did a powerful experiment. Two groups of students were asked to chill, to enjoy, to for 12 weeks they were asked just enjoy your life. And for the 2 weeks, they were also asked that you need not do anything, just feel that you are free to do anything that you want to do, just enjoy, don't do anything. But one of the groups, they told them to visualize for only 15 minutes about doing exercise, going to do dumbbell exercise. So what they did actually is they asked them to visualize every day for 15 minutes. What is the visualization process? The visualization process is about doing dumbbell. As they were closing their eyes and lying on the bed, they are doing dumbbell exercise. They are doing lifting dumbbell. They're not doing it, visualizing, going to the gym, opening the gym door, seeing everything in detail, and feeling how they're lifting the dumbbell, how it feels in their body. And when after 12 weeks they checked, something inexplicable happened. Could not explain scientifically what happened, how this is a possibility. Reason being, the group who was trained and asked to visualize for 15 minutes every day for 12 weeks, they found their strength of the muscles in their biceps has gone up by almost 13.5%, which is massive, huge, and not just changes in the mindset, in the physical strength of the body, the physiology changed. This is the power of visualization. It can change your strength, it can change your body parameters, it can heal your body, it can heal your mind. Such is the strength of visualization. We are having this superpower with us. I term them as superpowers. Human beings are bestowed with superpowers. They have been blessed with these kind of superpowers. Unfortunately, we are not using them. This we can use, apply, and transform our life. The next one in this is inner voice. Inner voice is something very, very important in our life. The inner voice is some voice goes on inside in spite of you not knowing it. In cognitive science, they term this as subliminal voice. Subliminal voice, subconscious voice. What is the subconscious voice? In most of our lives, most people, they have this trouble. Most people, in fact, have this subliminal voice problem. The voice tell them, this is a huge challenge beyond your capability. You cannot do this. You cannot do this. You are having a hopeless life. You have so many problems in life. You are unfortunate. You means I. It keeps on saying, that voice tells you that you are having all these problems in life. This goes on whether we want or not, because this has been put through during our conditioning time. When we are small, our parents said, तुमसे नहीं हो पाएगा, you cannot do this, you are having so much a problem, you cannot think, you have this, that. So this has been fed, has been settled in the subconscious state, and that runs all the time, limiting, confining our life, making ourselves a prisoner. The traps are these voices also. These voices, prisoner, we are prisoners. We have to come out of this. How? Again, voices we have to reprogram, voices we have to reorganize inside, send them to the subconscious to replace the earlier limiting voices, bring in powerful, positive, strong, motivating, powerful internal voices which can change our motivation and give us encouragement to achieve things. In my life also, I give this example because I love that change in me that happened in me. A time when I was in corporate and working in a place in marketing, lot of problem. I used to call me, my life is full of problems. My problem in life is problems. That's what I was thinking all the time. Internally, oh, I get up and go to office, I'll be surrounded by problems all the time. I'm helpless, and I do not have the capability to handle such overwhelming problems. This is what probably was going on. I was ignorant of that. The moment I started observing, introspecting, what is it happening inside, you can see it. These voices are always playing and making your energy, draining your energy. Just changed one statement. One statement. The statement was, I am a calm solution master. I just reprogrammed. I just kept chanting like mantra. I'm a calm solution master. What is this? This is an inner voice. I wanted to pass on this voice to the subconscious, wherein subconscious, the moment it sees a problem, it says, oh, I'm a calm, means problem means I'll be calm. Problem means I need to come up with solution because I'm a solution master. This change you have to bring in. And in few days time, in fact, within a month's time, the customer called me up saying, Sandeep, can I ask you something personal? Very personal. I said, please do, go ahead. He said, some superpower has come to you or what? In last few days, I'm seeing you are a different human being. You're approaching life problem in a very different way. I smiled and said, yes, it's my inner voice. The superpower term, actually, I got it from him, that this is what we need to change inside. Reprogram those subliminal voices, those subliminal, subtle voices always telling you you are small, limited, and confined human being. That's what is limiting our life. Change that. Bring in changes. I'm confident, but there are ways and processes through which you can really put them inside, deep inside, seed them in such form that the old voices are replaced by the new voices. We'll again in some time in future session will take up and make you a master of that as well. Yeah. So inner voice. Did you get it? Did you get it? Yeah. Are you getting it? Just write inner voice. Activate inner voice. This activation is conscious activation. Activate the true power. Your potential is limitless. Every human being has got limitless potential. It's always there. We limit it with the human traps. We put the barriers outside them. Now with that visualization, with that affirmation, that inner vision and inner voice, we can come out of them. Great. Great. That inner voice is where we need to work on, change that, and you'll see the positive power of these inner superpowers, which is always there. Great. Now, having discussed this, the third aspect, we come to the third aspect, the inner touch. When we say inner touch, this is where we need to understand one thing. This is probably one of the most deeper aspects, wherein we get to our inner self and touch our soul, touch our inner being, touch our inner faculties, touch our mind, getting inward. It's also known as kinesthetic anchoring, where we anchor ourselves. It's like right at this moment in time, if I choose to feel my surface of the palms, let's say I want to feel the surface of my right palm, just take all your attention there. Take all your attention. When I say attention, your mind is moving to your palm. Be aware of it. When I say aware here, feel all sensations on your palm. Feel it completely and get completely absorbed into it. Meaning, you are enjoying this connection with your palm, and not just that, you are also feeling as if nothing else exists other than this palm right at this moment in time. I am completely immersed in this feeling of the palm. That's what we say the inner touch aspect. When we take, if you noticed my words, I said attention, awareness, and absorption. Attention, awareness, and absorption, where I take those three aspects to one part of my body, completely get engrossed in that, immersed in that, lost my sense of existence beyond that. This is a very powerful process, a powerful process in terms of knowing my being. When we operate in this world, anything that happens, your emotion changes, your heartbeat change, your breathing process change, your feelings in every cell of the body change. Just before maybe a few minutes, there was a chat, there was a comment, how to handle this uncertainty trap. Do you know what happens when you are anxious or stressed? More than your mind, your body is suffering. Heart rate changing, the activation of the nervous system known as the sympathetic nervous system. Rushing of blood is happening. Flushing of sugar into the bloodstream is happening. All these are happening, we are feeling restless. When we are becoming aware of it, feeling or touching those aspects, touch your breath, touch your breathing process, touch your heart rate, touch your stomach, touch your gut, touch your back. If you're having pain, go and touch it as if you're touching it with love. This is having numerous different kinds of processes, including, if you have heard about the emotional freedom technique, tapping techniques. There is a video shared in the channel itself. In my channel, you can search for it. Emotional freedom technique. There are techniques like the energy activation technique at different nodes. If you've heard about the chakra system, the Kundalini chakra, now the power of it has been even appreciated by people who are scientists, who are literary figures, who understand what they mean. Psychotherapists, highest level psychotherapists now understand what amazing understanding the ancient seers and sages they had about this body, about the energy system of the body. All these are part of this kinesthetic anchoring aspect, the inner touch aspect. But the simplest form is train your mind to go to different parts of your body and touch them, heal them, and calm them down. If you're having anxiety, go to your heart, completely get the beating of the heart. Stay with it as if you are touching and blessing the heart to calm down. Go to your breathing process. Feel how the breath is so restless, so shallow, and it is fast. Go there. Stay with the breath. Flow with the breath. Absorb yourself into the breath. You'll find the breath will subside. It will settle, harmonize. You'll feel like a dance now happening, harmony coming in. This again is something about the inner touch. If you've heard about yoga nidra, powerful process of learning the art of inner touch. Go to each part of your body, touch them, feel them, get absorbed into them. Many ancient processes are there which help the process of transformation in the brain, in the body, in the cells of the body happening. Every part can transform, every different aspects can get transformed when we are bringing in these things into us. The programming change happens at a deeper level, not just in the mind. At the deepest level, we see these things happening in our life. So the third step, the most important step of all, is implementation and repeated application. What does it mean? We discussed about 3 steps. Step number 1 is connecting to the subconscious. Step number 2 is reprogramming, applying 3 things: inner vision, inner voice, and inner touch. Now we do that, but that's not the end of it. We repeat, we apply, we implement to bring in changes. Until unless you do it, it will not happen. It's like swimming. You can get all the knowledge, but until unless you apply, do it, it will not happen. Driving, know that this is accelerator, clutch and brake, and this is steering wheel. This is the way you have to do it. But not just knowing, you have to go walk the path. As you apply, you get more knowledge, more understanding, more clarity. That is what I say, light is lit up in this place where darkness is there. When you bring that light and brighten up the light more and more, you'll see the darkness will go away, the negative traps will vacate the mind and the body. So that is what I thought I will share in today's session. How has it been? If you loved the session, if you enjoyed the session, if you really found it valuable, just write super value. If you really found it valuable, super valuable, and loved it, that's what you can mention out there. And we can all really bring in and see transformation in our life by applying these brilliant, extraordinary processes in our life. So that's the power of the reprogramming processes. We will take up how we can actually bring them, learn them at a deeper level. But reprogramming is relatively simple. All of us, we have the ability to visualize. All of us, we have the ability to listen to sounds, although we are silent. We can hear the sounds inside. If you are not designing it, automatically the negative sounds may run and hurt you. And finally, we also need to apply them and really bring in the power every moment, and bring in that thing to our life. The power is in application. Abhyasa. I was mentioning that. Abhyasenat kaunteya vayagyene ch gruhyate. We have to practice, practice, and practice, and use that ability to, when we are practicing, we are disconnecting ourselves from the rest of the things. So thank you very much. Thank you so much for being part of these sessions. Again, we'll come up one more aspect very soon tomorrow, and learn few more aspects of how we can bring in changes into ourselves to evolve through this journey of life. Thank you. God bless. Take care. And please do subscribe and share. Like the video if you liked the video as we gone through the session. Do click on the like button. This would actually help the YouTube algorithm also to reach out to more and more people in the process. So thank you very much. Thank you so much for all your wonderful, wonderful, loving comments, and look forward to see you and catch up again in the next session. Have a great time. God bless.